Okay, if you're still struggling with this, okay, I'm going to give you an alternate approach to performing this function that's going to remove the issue of not hitting the cardinal points and staying away from the cardinal points of a shape. So you're going to get a piece of paper, right? You got this big piece of paper. Tear it off from wherever. And you're going to draw your 16 by 18 shape here, correct? So far, this is exactly the same. Right? The next step is also the same. At random, you're going to pick a point somewhere in that shape, right? So that is step 1, cut a piece of paper. Step 2, draw the rectangle. Step 3, at random, hit a point somewhere inside the rectangle. Here's where it changes. The next step that I want you to do is I want you at random to pick, all right, do not pick them evenly. So at random, I want you to pick somewhere between 6 and 8 points around the outside of that. Let's see how many I got. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I got 7. They're random, right? Then create the lines out to those points. Finally, after all of that is done, then you can put your shape on there. Okay? Now, when you put your shape on there, make sure that none of the corner points lines up with one of the lines. Okay? So now, as you start to kind of create stuff, understand that part of what we're looking for is for an expansion of the corner pieces. Also understand that you can, after you've started to do some of this, you can add new radiating lines. So for example, if I wanted to create a form here, right, I could go out this way, and this is parallel to that. And then this distance here is this distance here. It comes down like that, right? So I start to kind of create these parts that look like this. So as I start doing that, my form starts to develop outward. Then after this one's done, the next step is to do that diagram that I showed you before, which is, okay, right now all of these forms are stopping at these coplanar lines. Let's change that up. We'll take this one and bring it over, and this is where you have a new radiating line. This is where pieces are going to start to kind of grab other elements. Okay? Make sense? So some of you don't need to do this, right? So some of you are you know, your forms are coming out just fine. One of the things I want you to understand is that this corner point is that corner point. This corner point is that corner point. This corner point is that one. That one is that one, right? Every time you offset that out. In AutoCAD, you wouldn't have a choice, would you? If you hit the offset command and you say 4 feet, it's going to take that object and it's going to go out 4 feet. So this distance is 4 feet, as is the distance from there to there. The distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. The distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. Okay? And so that's what you're trying to think of it in terms of creating this offset condition. And the offset is the same off both lines. So I think this will kind of simplify, you know, you guys kind of not hitting the corner points. You're doing just fine, right? But I'm still getting a lot of people that are a little bit confused by that. And I think this, if at this point you're still not clear and you're coming up and you're not, your object is not starting to kind of look like everybody else's, something else is wrong. one thing I want you guys to know, right? Here's a shape, right? It's cohesive and it's simple. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. Here's another shape. It's cohesive. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, and I got to use a different pattern here. I'm not creating a band that circles all the way around this thing of zigzagging lines. Okay? So, John, this looks fine too. All right, so let's keep going.